As a psychic angel messenger and angelic spirit channel, I do talk to angels all day, and I am reincarnated, and I was the Queen of Egypt. And this is about my investigation on the Salvation Army. I am homeless. I was a housewife my whole life, and I just went through a divorce, so I'm really poor. I never had to work. My ex-husband is a big car stereo guy. He makes custom sub boxes, and he's a CNC machinist, so he makes custom car stereo stuff. And we had custom subwoofers in our house for our stereo. So we were really into music and subwoofers, car stereo competitions. And my ex-husband was kicked out of his home when he was a teenager, and he was homeless, and he had to struggle and live with lots of different people, and he was in jail. And then he met me, and I helped him out, and he got a really good job, and we got married, and he's really successful now. And I laid around all day, enjoyed good music, and had my cocktail hour at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we helped homeless people out. My ex-husband always rode his bike to work and back, and he'd help. He'd run into tons of people, and he's really friendly. And he'd help them out and get them jobs at his work, doing different things. And lots of his friends and people he'd meet would be homeless, and we let them live with us until they got back on their feet. So he divorced me, and now I'm homeless. And I'm a psychic angel messenger and angelic spirit channeler because I had a calling to do that. If you are one of those, that means Yahweh visited you, and you have to be one of those because he likes the drastic change. You got this person. She's a housewife, a car stereo person, and then all of a sudden now she's a psychic angel messenger and angelic spirit channeler, and preaches and that kind of stuff. He just likes the he likes the to see to change. Well, if you have a real religious family, I'm sure everybody runs into those families. All those people would probably be teachers at Christian schools. Then you'd expect them to be real preachy and intelligent about religion. So Yahweh does like to pick out people from all different walks of life. So I am a psychic angel messenger, angelic spirit channel. Just because Yahweh visited me one day, he asked me if I wanted to be one of those. I didn't know what one of those was. But I said yes. I know what being psychic is. That's knowing things that is gonna happen. So anyway, this is about my investigation on the Salvation Army. So I went through a divorce, and I was a housewife, and during my time as a housewife, Yahweh visited me and asked me if I wanted to be a psychic angel messenger and angelic spirit channeler, and I said yes. He just came up to me one day and asked me. I wasn't even interested in that kind of stuff. I wasn't interested in religion. I didn't know anything about religion. He just visited me and asked me, and I said yes. And then he started laughing at me. So anyway, Yahweh visited me and made me a psychic angel messenger, angelic spirit channeler. And then years after that, my ex-husband divorced me, and now I'm homeless. So I've been investigating all this stuff. Everybody runs into homeless people. I run into homeless people. My ex-husband and me used to fight all the time, and he'd drive off. So sometimes I'd get stuck at faraway places and have to walk home. And while I was walking home, I'd run into homeless people digging through dumpsters, and I'd ask them if I could use their cell phones and stuff like that. So now that I'm homeless and I don't have a car, I've been doing everything that's intelligent on the pieces of paper that social workers give me when I go to different hospitals when I'm cold or hungry. If you're cold or hungry, you might go to the hospital to get something to eat or to get a shower. And while you're there, a social worker will come in and talk to you and give you a sheet of paper that has tons of things you should do if you're homeless. So what I've been doing is going through the paperwork and doing everything intelligent that is on the paperwork. And one of the things that was on the paperwork was for me to go to the Salvation Army and to sign up for their job program. I recently went to St. Anthony's. I was hungry and homeless, and went to St. Anthony's, and they gave me some sandwiches and a piece of paper they printed out after I talked to a social worker, and they circled the things they thought I should do. And after looking at the piece of paper, I decided to do the intelligent things that were on the piece of paper. And one of the number one things that was on the piece of paper was to go to the Salvation Army and sign up for their job program. They circled it on the piece of paper. So I thought this makes sense for my situation. They wanted me to get a job. They said that should be my number one priority. I agreed with them that getting a job should be my number one priority. They told me to go to the Salvation Army, that they had a program for homeless people, and that program was finding them jobs. So I moved to a motel. Well, after they told me to do this, I moved into a motel that was near my ex-husband's house, so I could walk to his house and do my laundry and walk to the bus stop to go to the Salvation Army. And when I tried walking to the bus stop, strange men and women would stop me while I was walking and start asking me strange questions. And I became upset. I'm trying to walk to take care of my business. If somebody was stopping my children while they were walking, I would take that as predatory-ish. My children are walking to where they're supposed to go. They don't have their thumbs out in the air. They're not trying to hitchhike. Why would anybody ever stop them while they were walking? So anyway, I was living at a different motel that was near my ex-husband's house, so I could walk over there and use the washer and dryer. And I was trying to walk to the bus stop. And while I was walking to the bus stop, strange people would stop me every time I was walking and try talking to me. And I became upset. I started emailing different churches. I just threw a huge fit. I was trying to take care of my business. And it was impossible to do so. It was impossible to get to the bus stop because every time I'd walk, I'd get stopped by people driving, men and women. So I moved to a motel that was right down the road from the Salvation Army, that was on my paperwork that the hospital staff gave me. They told me to go down to the Salvation Army and sign up for their job program. And I couldn't sign up for their job program at the last motel because people were stopping me when I was walking, and they were trying to drive me off the road while I was walking, and they were honking at me while I was walking. So I thought, this isn't working out. I'm going to move to a motel that's nearer to the Salvation Army, so I won't have any problems walking down there. So I just moved to this motel. Yesterday, I just walked down to the Salvation Army, and when I entered the building, there was a magazine rack, and it was full of military magazines. And I looked at the magazines. One of them said War Cry, and there was a fist. And I thought, is this a military store? What is funding the store? Who is paying for the store? Who is getting the profits from the store? So I glanced around and looked at the magazines, and I thought, well, maybe the military is all getting the profits from the store, because why would there be military magazines in the store? And it's called the Salvation Army. So I didn't know if that was an army store, who ran the store, who was in charge of the store. But I guess that it was a military-based store because there was military magazines in the store. If I go to Kmart, I don't see military magazines in the Kmart. But and that's a business. But at the Salvation Army, there was military magazines in there, like little pamphlets and stuff like that. So I assumed that that was a military ran store. So I walked in, and when I walked in, there was a rich looking woman going through stuff, and there was a couple elderly people at the counter. And I went up to the counter, and the man working there asked me if he could help me. I told him that I was told to go in there and sign up for their job program. He said they didn't have a job program. I wasn't sure if he said that because he didn't want the other people in the store to know they had a job program. I thought maybe they didn't want everybody to know they had a job program, because I was given specific instructions on what I should be doing. And one of those things was to go to the Salvation Army and sign up for their job program. So I argued with him. I said, well, I was told by St. Anthony's staff that I was supposed to come in here and sign up for their job program. He said, well, we don't have a job program. I said, well, I was told I was supposed to come in here and sign up for the job program. He said, well, we don't have a job program. And why I was arguing with him about the job program, the people in the store looked like I was they looked like that. They looked like I was they looked like they thought that I was a loser because I was interested in their job program. So then he said, well, I can give you an application. And I said, okay. And then I thought, well, that man must be working there because he filled out a job application. So those people didn't look very good because I was in there trying to get a job. And that man is working there because he was looking for a job, and the people there shopping looked like they thought I was a dirtball because I was trying to get a job there. So anyway, the point is the people in the store didn't look very good because obviously the man working there is working there because he filled out a job application. So anyway, he gave me the job application and I sat down at the desk and I filled out the job application. And then I gave the job application to him and he gave me a number to call. And I called the number and that woman said they didn't have a job program. And she was very insistent on the Salvation Army not having a job program. And she said all their employees were volunteers. So that didn't make sense to me because I had just filled out a job application there and they asked me what my salary was at the last job I had. So I assumed that if I got a job at the Salvation Army, they would be paying me something. And the woman I talked to on the phone after the employee at the Salvation Army gave me her number said all their employees were volunteers. So first I was lied to by social workers at St. Anthony's. They told me my number one priority was to get a job and for me to go to the Salvation Army and sign up for their job program. When I got to the Salvation Army, the employee there said they didn't have a job program, but I could fill out a job application. And then the woman he told me to call after giving me her number, she lied to me and told me that all their employees are volunteers and that they don't actually pay their employees anything after I had just filled out a job application expecting to get paid. So the whole situation was confusing because I was told by St. Anthony staff to go to the Salvation Army to sign up for their job program. I get to the Salvation Army and the employee there says they don't even have a job program, but that I could fill out a job application. And he gave me a number to call. And after I called the number, the woman said that all their employees are volunteers. So why would I need to fill out an application for a place? Well, I'm sure you can tell that it's confusing. I went there because social workers told me to go there to sign up for the job program. When I get there, the employee says they don't have a job program, but I could fill out a job application. To me, that meant that I would be getting paid if I got a job. And then I called the number he gave me, and that woman said that all their employees were volunteers. And I actually have the number he gave me to call right here. He wrote it down on a piece of paper. And this is actually the number he told me to call. He wrote it down himself. So I called that number, and the woman said they don't have a job program and that all their workers are volunteers. So and then I came back to the motel that is next to the Salvation Army, where I was told to go to sign up for their job program. So this is a serious investigation on the Salvation Army. Why are they telling homeless people to go there to sign up for their job program if they don't even have a job program? That's abusive to homeless people. Homeless people have to get rides everywhere. They have to walk everywhere. Hospital personnel is telling them to go to places, and those places are saying they don't even have a job program after hospital staff is saying that they do have a job program. They're writing numbers down to call, and then those people are saying that all their employees are volunteers after the store employees are giving you an application to fill out for employment reasons. And the store is a donation store. That means that everything in the store is donated to the store. People stand outside the Salvation Army with a bucket, bringing the bucket, and they put money in the bucket. And that is supposed to be to help homeless people. People are putting their money into the Salvation Army buckets because they think they are helping homeless people out. I just went to a grocery store nearby, and there was a man outside ringing a bell with the Salvation Army bucket. And I sat by the doors where he was at ringing the bell, and I seen tons of people going in to the grocery store and putting money in the bucket. And those people were thinking that money was to help homeless people. And I just went to the Salvation Army after I was told to go there to sign up for their job program because I am homeless. And the staff there said they don't even have a job program. So why are people putting money into the Salvation Army bucket? Is the Salvation Army ripping off people? Who owns the Salvation Army? Where is the money going? New people just came in to this motel and I can hear them. Are they trying to ruin my investigation on the Salvation Army? Could this be the biggest news story in history? That the Salvation Army is ripping off tons of people? That the money people are donating to them isn't even going to homeless people to help them out? I can actually hear the people in this motel talking. And they just stormed in. Now I hear the television on very loud. I think I'm really onto something.